Good morning, Signal family, and happy Friday. We're here today to celebrate Women's History Month and Irish Heritage Month with you. I have today with me two strong Signal women, and we want to spread women's empowerment, especially throughout this month, through education of women's history with you. I'm going to switch it over to Dynita to give you some highlights about women's history in the United States.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to give you some highlights about Women's History Month and things that did you know. On February 28, 1909 was the first Women's History Month dates chosen. And that was done in New York, due to the people that were working in the sweat houses in New York. Women were actually working 12-hour days and only making $15 a week. Can you imagine what we could do with only $15 a week these days and times? Alice couldn't even buy her red-bottom shoes. But in 1990, President Jimmy Carter decided to declare March 8th Women's History Week. He gave us a week, really? But we protested, and basically in 1986, 14 states declared March Women's History Month. Yeah, they gave us a month, but that was only for 14 states. And then we had people to lobby in Congress in 1987 to declare Women's History Month across the nation. Okay, ladies, and from there on, each year we declared and gave it a theme. For 2022, Women are providing healing, promoting hope is the theme for 2022. And did you know, Irish women, worldwide range of issues campaigning for education and things fighting for women's suffrage, declared in the 20th century that they needed empowerment as well. They were actually locked up for wanting to have, equal rights. You were locked up to have equal rights as a female. That's not fair, okay? Did we know that? No. Another thing, Geraldine Jerry Cobb was the first female that actually passed the astronaut test in 1961. But guess what? They wouldn't let her fly due to her gender. Now, guess what, ladies? We're taking over that. Okay? And another thing, did you know we couldn't even get a credit card? Alice couldn't buy her red-bottom shoes back until 1974. A male had to sign, your husband. Suppose like me, I don't have a husband. I couldn't get a credit card. That's not fair. So until 1974, we were not allowed to get a credit card. Until it was obtained, a male had to sign, a male or a husband as a co-signer. No. That's not going to work. But this is the key, ladies. Data shows that 59.5 women go to college compared to 40.5 men. So we're getting educated so we can fix these problems. But this is the key. We're going to have to start marrying younger ladies because we outlive the men. So we need to get some, tenderonis so we can take, to keep them along with us. Because if we marry old, they're going to die before we do. Then we're going to have to go back and look again. You know what, ladies? We are in power. We are powerful ladies. And I need you guys to, step up your games so we can show them who has the power. We have the power. Now it's on to you, Ruthie. Let her tell some more things about what we can do.
Good morning, Signal family. Happy Women's History Month. Thank you, Dynita and Alice, and it's an honor to be co-presenting with the both of you. And I wanted to thank every woman at Signal for just being amazing and outstanding. I learn a lot from each and every one of you every day. And I wanted to give a shout out to my favorite woman in the world, which is my mom. Her name's Ruth Eaton, DC public school teacher for over 40 years and Oyster Bilingual School. And the woman I'm featuring today is Ibtihaj Muhammad. I'm going to just start off by reading a little bio about her. Ibtihaj Muhammad was born December 4th, 1985, whose parent converted to Islam. She joined her high school fencing team at Columbia High School when she was 13 years old. Her parents thought that fencing was a great sport where she could excel at while still being able to dress in her hijab. In 2002, she joined the prestigious Peter Westbrook Foundation, a program which utilizes the sport of fencing as a vehicle to develop life skills in young women from underserved communities, and was later on accepted into their elite athlete program in New York City. She went to Duke University on an academic scholarship, and during her academia at Duke, she was a 3-time All-American Junior Olympian. She graduated with a double major in international relations and African American studies from Duke in 2007. And she also became a member in 2010 of the U.S. national fencing team. And as of 2017, she ranked number 2 in the United States and 7th in the whole world. She also was a 5-time world fencing medalist, which includes the world champion team event. But she is best known, as we all know her for, she is the first Muslim American woman in the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio to wear a hijab and receive a bronze medal with her team, with fencing team. Miss Muhammad's other contributions to the world are that she became an author. Her books are Proud, My Fight for an Unlikely American Dream, Proud, Living My American Dream, and The Proudest Blue, a story of hijab and family. She's an entrepreneur as well. She also created a modest, fashionable clothing line named Luella with her siblings in 2014, and in 2017, on International Women's Day, Mattel made a Barbie after her with a hijab, the first Muslim Barbie. And I chose her because I thought her life was so intriguing and inspirational. I've had forgotten about her since 2016, and what reminded me of her was another strong woman in the hip hop industry, an artist named Rhapsody. She actually made a song about her titled Ibtihaj, and it sparked interest in me because it was just one amazing woman honoring another one. And it just reminded me how extraordinary Miss Muhammad is. She's still young, and she represents not only women, but African American and Muslim culture, and it's definitely a force to be reckoned with. She is humble, strong, and continues to inspire us all. And I will pass it back. Oh, well, actually, no, Alice is going to be presenting my Irish American activist, Leonora Battle. On to you, Alice.
Hello again, Signal family. So today I thought, since this month is not only Women's History Month, it's also Irish Heritage Month. So I thought I'd share with you a little story about another strong woman, Leonora Kearney Barry. And she was an Irish immigrant from Ireland during the Great Famine period, and she immigrated to the U.S. in New York when she was 3 years old. Her father was a farmer, so they were really suffering and starving, and during that period in Ireland, so they immigrated for a better life in the U.S. So she found a job after being a teacher. She found a job at a grocery mill and was paid only, I'm gonna beat you to it, Dynita, your story, is 65 cents per week. I don't know, how do people live on 65 cents per week during that time, but I guess it's the 1800s. So she felt like she was underpaid. She was dissatisfied with the pay and also the treatment. So she joined the Knights of Labor Union, which was available that time during the 1800s, which is good. There's actually a union. I didn't know that. Something new I learned. And she actually became the first paid female labor investigator in 1886. So her quote is, "I believe women should have every opportunity to become proficient in whatever vocation they chose or find themselves best fitted for," which I agree also. Women's equality is a fight that many women, and not only women, but men have fight for. in every country. So she found after her investigating, she found most of the women work in unacceptable conditions for low wages, long hours, strict workplace rules, and most important, the unacceptable is sexual harassment were so common during that time. And she advocated for equal pay for equal work to prevent sexual harassment. Of course, during that time, women did not have equality, and a lot of people saw her as making trouble, basically. They didn't want her to be even existed there to advocate for these women. So, but she continued with her strength, and sometimes she worked underground with other women to go ahead and go into the company and the factory to go ahead and investigate and do her job. So to investigate women's working. So later, the Knights of Labor declined in the later half of 1800s, and it brought the rise of another union, American Federation of Labor. So a lot of people were employers, they didn't want her there. It doesn't matter what union, they didn't like unions because they boycotted a lot. But Leonora, continued her activism, and she continued to give multiple speeches at women's rights seminars and stuff. And she gave her final speech about investigation in 1889, and which argued women will only achieve equality in the workplace if they have the right to vote. So I agree with that. If they don't have a say, then how could they achieve anything? So she later continued her activism and pushed for social reform throughout her life. So that's what I wanted to share with everyone. And also I wanted to share with you guys, there's a great movie out there. I watched it. I haven't watched movies since kids, so it's been a long time, but it's for a long time ago. This movie was from, I think it was 2015. It's called Brooklyn. That's the movie's name. It's about an Irish woman who immigrated to the United States, and throughout her journey. And it's funny, it's very sassy, very, very quirky, but I love it. It was the make you feel good kind of movie. So I invite everyone to practice woman empowerment. And I do want to give a quote at the end. So I read this and it really does touch me. It says, kindness, one of the greatest gifts you can bestow upon another. If someone is in need, lend them a helping hand. Do not wait for a thank you. True kindness lies within the act of giving without the expectation of something in return, which I agree with so much, and I invite everyone to practice that. And Ruth, did you have something you want to share regarding more information that people can enjoy over the weekend?
Why, yes, Alice, thank you. I just wanted to share that the U.S. Mint has started off a program from 2022 to 2025. It's featuring 20 total designs of powerful and strong, inspirational women of our present and past. I believe this year is featuring Maya Angelou, Nita Otterow Warren, Sally Ride, Wilma Mankiller, and Anna Mae Wong. So please check that out. It's amazing. They're all going to be on the quarter, guys. So that's all I wanted to share, and just have an amazing weekend.